Moon Knight bad. It really, you know, it can mix it up. With this movie, I entered into it with low expectations that were met. It didn't fall below them. It was exactly what I expected it.
Alright, Mango and Grok. EFAP number 389. Voice crack included. Let's get right into it. New Game Plus Part 2.
It to be, and because of that, I was weirdly in sync with it and how terrible it was.
Yeah,
of like almost being able to know exactly what was going to happen next, and then for it to happen and go, oh yeah, there you go.
I'm sure you got to the point
experience.
where you were like, and they'll drop the Mando little sound effect there. That it went,
yeah, exactly.
Like,
and then the action scene will begin here, and then this is what's going to happen next to facilitate the action scene. Yep, and then oh wow, yep, exactly. And it was just really, it was really very, weirdly entertaining, but not for anything that was in the movie. Actually, this movie is awful. This movie is like absolute garbage. I would recommend it to nobody.
That's the only thing I want to almost like gatekeep immediately. Don't believe anyone who tells you this is actually a pretty solid Star Wars movie. It's
turn
just
your brain off.
No.
Yeah.
No, this is, you know, beyond the conversation of the nature of slop, this plot is thoroughly incoherent. Like completely nonsensical.
Those people who tell you
does have grave world building implications when you actually think about it. For as inconsequential as a lot of people are sort of talking about, it seems inconsequential. It presents that way, which is bad for its prospects as a film. But it isn't in terms of the actual storytelling.
It's really bad for that as an indicator of future Star Wars storytelling. The fact that the writers view this as inconsequential as it is presented as being. When you we'll get to all of this in the discussion of the movie itself. There are several events in this movie that should have huge world-building implications and should really determine the state of the Star Wars galaxy going forward. Like really potentially massively impactful things. The movie doesn't understand that these are important. That's why it seems so inconsequential. Like you look at it and you think, I know about the galaxy. Also, I have a semi-functioning brain some of the time, so I can see how all of this is going to logically lead to certain things. But then Dave Filoni has less of a brain than I do.
Which I will say, you pointing that is entirely.
Dave Filoni has no brain. He's just... We've seen what he's done in Rebels, Clone Wars, The Acolyte, literally helping Leslie Headland, his record is there.
Really consistent with the Clone Wars and how that show was made, where it would just have oh yeah, here's the plot for this episode, or maybe it'll be 4 episodes long, and then you just sort of move on with it when it's dude, if this actually happened, if we pretended that this was canon, this is irreconcilable with what is presented in the prequel. It's entirely consistent with that writing style of just crazy shit happens, and Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau don't realize that it's crazy.
Walk away from it.
It's like a fun little, almost like you can treat it like it's a non-serialized television show. Almost like you can treat it like an episode of Family Guy, right? Where what happens in one episode isn't remembered by anybody in the next one.
I mean, when they go out and say, "Oh, look, all these new coins we have to play with." Oh, yeah, good stuff. I guess I know what's going on now. I know your mindset and it's bad. The movies and storytelling.
There's a notion that one, it doesn't key jangle any legacy characters or ruin any of them, so you gotta love that too. There's no obvious horrifying agenda regarding any given aspect of this movie one way or the other. There's a definitive breakneck pace that's got action in it, and you know what? The fundamental, there's just not as many flaws as there are in all the other Star Wars movies. It's just wow. You know, if you fall asleep watching it, that doesn't mean you get to say there's nothing in terms of flaws. That's not how it works.
That would be the annoying thing if this film got away with people believing that was the case, rather than no, it's a mess. It's a mess in exactly the same way as pretty much every other Disney Star Wars movie, save for Rogue One, because it has a good thing. It's you know, it's got a better third act.
It's the only thing that surprised me about this movie that it kept going.
It does keep going.
Yeah.
It keeps.
Yeah. When you think it's gonna end, oh, you're about halfway. Actually.
Yeah,
exactly.
We
got 2.5 episodes to go.
I'd say
when you goes back for the first time, it's wait, I thought it was like the end of
Yes.
the movie.
Navarro is
What was
the
going on?
end.
Once he's like cashed in his first mission in the prologue, you've basically experienced everything the film has to offer.
Yes.
But now we do it again.
Yeah, you just get remixes over and over again.
I
It's
mean,
like, cool.
in a sense, what you've got here is 4.5 episodes of a Mando season, basically. You could almost imagine that the prologue is the ending of one episode, and then you can split the movie into, you know, two episode. The two-episode two-parters is helpful. Basically, you know, episodes 1 and 2.
Is all the Rota stuff.
Of what would normally be, yeah, that would be on the synthwave planet, and then 3 and 4 is all the stuff with the huts on the hut planet. And when you think about it like that, it's kind of amusing.
It is, and like you can see where the episodes were supposed to end as well. It's obviously just like the only thing, like, the opening acts or the opening battle is kind of the thing they tacked on to make it a movie. And then everything after that, it's not even, I wouldn't even say it's like episode 1 and 2 of a Mando TV show. It's like episode 4, 5, and 6 of an 8-episode TV show. It's the bit where, like, we've done the main plot as an intro, and then we did a little bit more of that with episode 2, and now we're on the filler arc in episode 3, 4, 5, 6. And now at the end, after the movie's finished, because we're not allowed to do anything consequential, seemingly, in this film, that's when the actual story would have come back, and then everything in the season would have wrapped up again. But this movie is not allowed to do what it really is supposed to be doing, because they have decided, in their infinite wisdom, that to continue this part of the Star Wars story, we have to wait for Ahsoka season.
What the fuck is she doing? Why is she not shooting him?
2. That's when we're actually dealing with the Star Wars story. This movie can't do anything that impacts that story.
Because they're locked into Thrawn being the, you know,
he's the next step,
the big bad of this storyline, and they're locked away from that, being able to develop that until next year.
But like, why did?
Which is, hilarious.
I get, like, I say this, I get that, but like at the same time, just throw Gus Fring in here then. I'm just like, but he died.
Yeah,
like,
bring him back.
You guys
he
don't
had
care.
another clone.
No, he's not dead. They showed you that his suit is fireproof and then he died in fire. He's not dead.
Even if he'd been disintegrated, he's not dead. They, you know what I mean? Like, you just say one Force clone of him escaped, and now, ooh, he's scarier than ever. Now he's got the Force.
They keep doing this.
Yeah.
I do have a question, which it's a thought I had as I was walking out of the theater. Where do you think that the Mandalorian and Grogu slots your ranking all Mandalorian like content based, you know,
as
seasons 1, 2, 3 in this movie? Where does this like rank in that assortment?
I haven't seen the 3rd or the 4th season.
There isn't a
There
fourth.
There isn't a 4th. Yeah, well,
you did see going to be what they did,
there you go.
and then they turned the scripts for part of 4 into this movie. 3 is astonishingly bad. I don't think this is as bad as 3. 2 is also really quite bad, and it fucks legacy characters. So maybe it's like it might even be season 1 of The Mandalorian, this movie, then Mando season 2, then Mando season 3.
I totally agree. I
agree as well.
Agree.
2 gets too much of a pass.
Rewatched Mando. Holy shit! It is profoundly. It's barely watchable. It's so fucking dull.
It is kind of insane.
And terrible.
Not
this one is like, there is a lot more shit blowing up more rapidly. So I guess that's nice. They only say this is the way once, which immediately puts them up season 3, where they say this is the way about 68 times.
It is. I do not recommend this, chat. It is the same as taking some kind of like a whole fucking silo's worth of alcohol at once or something. But watching 3 seasons of Mando in a row and prep for this was rough. It was never designed for that. I'd also happen to watch 3 episodes of the Book of Boba Fett as well. Which again, this is better than that show. Which is hilarious. Well, and to get context back for the twins, man, iconically introduced in the Book of Boba Fett.
Whose names are?
Raylia and Rhaegar.
I guess,
Really?
actually,
I don't think they actually have a name. I don't think they named them, like, for real.
Maybe they forgot, they forgot to write that.
I'm pretty sure I saw a tweet earlier today where they were just told, Twin 1 and Twin 2 or something, right next to Rod.
Well,
I don't think I did see that someone had said that they had no like credited voice actors or anything. Like, they're the most empty villains that have ever existed. They don't have names. They don't have credits to them. They're just like, well, we need an antagonist, I guess. So,
Yeah. Disposable. But that costs them, world building wise, significantly, just to decide that they're disposable.
The only thing interesting about the twins is that they're brother and sister and they sleep in the 69 position, which is very odd.
Very weird, yeah.
It's a lawless
I did
outer
notice
rim.
that as well.
So, yeah.
They made sure we knew that. They have that little shot where they wake up together and you're like, why?
Why'd
okay.
you do that?
Okay. Stop it.
You go ahead.
Well, I suppose, you know, we can start discussing this if you're all ready for that. It's gonna
I guess that's what I'm
be a
here
real
for.
exciting experience. So
I don't think it will be.
this guy's
A
lying.
lot of the film can kind of be summed up as Mando is shot 60 times and is never and is perfectly fine, and then he effortlessly annihilates all the enemies.
Until
That always happens, so that's good world building,
just,
right?
Yeah, I mean it's consistent, but there's never but that's half the film explained for you.
But like much like the show as well, whenever he is captured, it's always weak as fuck, just sudden plot poison, I guess, and then they never take his helmet.
Captured twice in this movie.
No, don't take his helmet. Don't take his helmet.
Like the,
And then give it back if you do.
Weapons
it's
on
like
his
the general
helmet.
format of the show, right? Like something happens and then the solution is like right there. And then,
General format was one of my favorite characters.
So, no title crawl, instead a big old slap of, yeah, it's more like, it's like Solo, right? They did that.
Before we start, I think I have something to note, is that I should have warned you beforehand, I'm sorry. I missed the first few minutes of this movie. But I got to it. Yeah, well, see, I got into the movie like right before we meet Sigourney Weaver. So the thing that happened.
So you just missed the whole prologue then?
Yeah, I missed it completely, but it was not my fault. What happened was, in Georgia, you have like for each cinema, there's like for a day, there's only 2 sessions or 2 screenings in English. So you gotta make it. It's either like it's slotted into like the very early morning or very late at night. Yeah. Oh yeah, you do. And I had to choose the cinema to get to the 1 p.m. screening for English. I had to choose the cinema that was an hour away from me, and I got there on time, of course. And I get to the guy to check my tickets, and he looks at my ticket and he's like, "Oh shit, the projector broke. So you just got here for nothing. Like we can't show you the movie. So go downstairs and get a refund." And I'm like, "Fuck no." What do you mean project? So I think the god was giving me an out from this.
Yeah.
Exhausting.
Failed.
Yeah,
It's funny you mention
Definitely.
when Attack of the Clones came out many years ago, my dad went to see Attack of the Clones in the theater. The projector broke.
Really?
So we had to come back and like see it another day. It broke
Wow.
sort of nearish the end. Well, sort of near the wherever
Wait,
it
in
was.
the middle of
It was
Oh
when
man.
sort of. It was when Anakin and Padme were on the droid assembly plant and they were fighting on the assembly line. That's when the film broke.
Wow.
All the most exciting
So,
shit you didn't get to see. You got to see all the boring shit.
So we got a refund.
And
we
you
had
had
to come
to
back a
rewatch?
different day. Yeah.
Well,
Wow.
you know.
I'm sorry. But yeah, we thankfully it didn't break in the middle of the screening right before. I was so pissed because I'm like, you could have notified us, and he was like, oh, it was right before this, and I'm like, okay. And I try not to get pissed off, and I got down, and so it happened that simultaneously there was playing a screening in Screen X that was in Georgian dubbed. So I was like, okay. Initially I was not going to see it because I was like, I need to watch this in original. It's like I always have to watch it in original. But that time I was like an hour away from home. I had to write back, so I was like, okay, just give me whatever. And that ticket was twice as pricey, so they gave it for me for free. And I got to Sigourney Weaver.
Well.
And I had to watch it. I didn't get to hear, unfortunately, the great voice acting of the film, unfortunately. I missed out.
which saved you on a couple of circumstances, which we'll get to. But yeah, we get a big old slap of a paragraph to let you know what's going on, because of course you couldn't just jump into this like nuts did. That would be insane. You wouldn't be able to follow a single thing without them letting you know how it's going. So, you know, again, for those in chat who don't know, the 3 seasons of Mando is just bounty hunter finds a baby, decides he's going to adopt it and train it to become a Mandalorian. It's kind of like the summary of the 3 seasons, really. Yeah,
although, I mean, you get obviously like Moff Gideon planning to use Force clones, and then they have to turn Mandalore into like the Mandalorian equivalent of Jerusalem and fight the Imperials out of it,
but that's
and then
all, like,
do that.
Self-contained. Like he rises and falls in that show such that you don't even. It's not relevant to this film, you know?
No, they sort of, because this sits in this really awkward place. So in the background of season 3, you have the Imperial Shadow Council, and Moff Gideon is on it, and then you get a bunch of other people, a couple of whom might even be appearing in this movie, and they occasionally have these Skype meetings where they go, we are evil and waiting for Thrawn. And so this movie kicks off with the text slate kind of suggesting we're going to be getting more of that. We're not getting more of that. The opening text in this movie is a lie. It's what it's supposed to be leading to. The Imperials have a plan to bring back the Empire, and say, well, okay, I could get into that. That could be an interesting story. When are we going to start doing that?
Yeah, I mean, it's not just the opening. They have some dialogue that sort of, by any stretch of any rule of any writer, you'd think sets up what this film's about, but incorrect. It does read, however, the evil galactic empire has fallen, which, sure, yeah, okay, fair. Ex-Imperial warlords remain scattered throughout the galaxy again. Okay, fair. And as we've mentioned, plotting the Empire's return, the fledgling New Republic has begun to reunite the galaxy. Which we are 5 years post Return of the Jedi?
More than that at this point. It was 5 years in Mando Season 1. So, I mean, we're probably
6,
closing in on a
7,
decade
8
at this point.
Plus, so
a pretty shit job, I guess.
Well, it is a galaxy.
It's a big galaxy, you know, it's...
I think the more pressing shit is just thinking about how this would be after we find out what Mon Mothma's been doing with the military, right? It's the Military Disarmament Act. But correct me if I'm wrong, Platoon, because I've heard you talk about it. It reduces the military by 90%.
I think it's about that. Like, they decommission every single captured Imperial ship, so that you get that scene in, I want to say it's Mando Season 3 again, where they have to go to like a scrapyard, and these fully functioning, perfectly serviceable, useful Star Destroyers are just being torn apart and replaced by nothing, because Mon Mothma, when written by Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau, was a retard. When she's written
was that in Ahsoka?
I thought that was Mando 3, but I could be wrong.
Sure.
I think it's Ahsoka. Yeah.
No. What you're describing about the like all of the Star Destroyers physically, that's in Season 3. But I think the actual like plot thing you're talking about in Mon Mothma, that was in Ahsoka.
They explain it in Ahsoka with Mon Mothma.
Oh, I thought
but you see it's already in process in Mando Season 3.
Mando Season 3.
I'm pretty sure Ahsoka does as well, though. Doesn't she go to that like scrapyard place?
Oh,
yes,
and then
there's like the Imperials who are like, we're evil.
They all blur together.
It's such a sprawling universe, you know?
I don't think Dave Filoni should be trusted with any kind of politics.
Well, somebody trusted him.
Fuck. The only thing he should be writing is the Hutt dialogue.
Which, again, it is a case of like, yes, post-war, there's a lot to be dealing with, you know. I mean, at the end of this massive conflict, yeah, there's all sorts of shit to be sorted out. And I mean, of course, in the real world examples, right? I mean, you know, post-war, like World War II, we're talking years and years and years of just development, essentially, after that stems entirely from those events, you know.
If we're to believe we're like...
the countries' economies, you know, new countries being created, the new sort of order of the world, you know, emerging superpowers and all that.
Imagine how rich the kinds of stories you could tell about the Great Federation remnants and the New Republic coming up, and where the Imperials go. Are the little planets loyal?
Right? Like, what happens if you've got like arms dealers that are moving all of these, you know, surplus weapons around to new conflicts that are arising in various places?
Think about after the...
I mean, and you know, you think about Clone Wars. Yeah, exactly. But we don't really get to see much of that. But you remember, you know, think about in Andor how we get, the Empire's not everywhere. They'll get, like, essentially you know, private companies to be doing enforcement in certain locations. Like, imagine if that was a storyline that the New Republic has to, like, hire private military companies because they don't have, like, the resources to be policing a lot of territories. And imagine that a few of these military companies, like, let's carve out some, you know, territory for ourselves, right, with this new capability that we have, or just any sort of, you know, complications, as opposed to what is presented here of, like, oh, they're around doing vaguely bad things, go and fucking assassinate them. Like Mando, just go and shoot them in the head, just blow them up.
But see, it's fine because he's only doing this to Imperial war crime people or something.
Yeah, and
something that's weird is because they do a deck of cards thing, and it's like, what, like in the Iraq War, like where they have the deck of cards, right, for going after
Oh yeah, that did exist.
Saddam,
yeah, like that deck of, you know, for all of the different people, and it's like, are you referencing that?
They're referencing that. He's explicitly going to basically kill them all. I think he even says that, and then simultaneously they tell us it's specifically to capture them and interrogate them. You're like, wait. That's confusing. And he's like, I'm going to take out every one of those cards. You're like, no. And even Sigourney Weaver has to keep reminding him, and the fucking Zeb guy is like, we're supposed to capture them, bro. It's funny.
So they can give us more information.
Mando's treated as though he has like a great deep trauma with the Empire, and he can't resist killing them. And it's like, okay, but that's...
I think you're forgetting, Mr. Filoni, his actual trauma was with the Separatists.
Yep. Yeah.
He doesn't like droids, and there's an opportunity for them to do something with that in this film, but they're not going to do that.
They have well forgotten, yeah.
Didn't we drop that like
they forgot that
2 episodes in or something?
Okay, it's too much like a character.
Essentially, yeah.
To be absolutely clear, they would probably tell you as writers that it was resolved in the finale for season 1, but they reference it all the way up to season 3 that he has an issue with droids.
In 3, yeah, because when they go to the Jack Black planet, he has a big beef with the droids there.
Yeah.
Well, remember, he does, and then he kills one that just...
Well, that's what I'm saying,
like,
but it's bizarre to try and collect an understanding, because at one point he's desperate to resurrect IG-11, and a fucking Greek cog is like, why? And he's like, he's my friend. It's like, do you know droids work? Like, you seem to hate all droids, but you like that one a lot because it applied a salve to your wound. So, like Mando believes, like, you're not like the others. You're like, no, it is, actually. It is very much like the others.
And he's just following his programming perfectly and has no personality. It's not like, oh, I could see why people would get... This happens all the time in fiction, in science fiction, where people get attached to droids, and you don't really know if they're quite, like, personhood level yet, but you get the connection.
What happened to Mark 5, his droid, his personal droid that he had for his Naboo Starfighter?
We don't see our
We don't see him in this movie.
So sad.
Maybe if you look really closely, you can see it when it's like
he was in the background
on the ship.
Yeah.
Offline.
Maybe he's inside of Filoni's stupid fucking hat.
Broadly, my confusion was just, why are you telling me that they're fledgling at the same time as this is after Mon Mothma has disabled like an incredible amount of their military? Also, we're this many years into them building up. Doesn't feel. It just feels all over the place.
Because again, what are the developments at this point? You know, like year 1 post World War II, right, versus year 5 versus year 10, depending on where you even are in the world, right? Of like how quickly people, you know, were sent back home versus, you know, depending on which country they were captured by, for instance. It's just funny that, like, these films, they want to reference, like, you know, essentially the real-world examples that inspired Star Wars in the past, but it's all very superficial and surface level, none of the substance, which is where the story is derived from, is taken.
It's a strange feeling, too,
because they want to be stuck in time. They don't want to actually, like, progress or show a progression of the state of the universe. They want to be within this certain time zone in universe where you can always, there's always Imperials to just go out and fight. Regardless of the context of it, Imperials and Stormtroopers, they're iconic bad guys, and they're just mindless cannon fodder for our heroes to shoot at. So let's just keep things frozen in this spot where they can always go out and shoot without consequence.
It's hard to care in any way, shape, or form about the build-up of a republic, a new republic that is going to be deleted in one scene.
Yeah. Right. And then replaced eventually with the New Republic.
There's a line at some point in this movie that just like, I think it's when Ripley says, "This isn't about vengeance. This is about protecting everything the rebellion fought for." And it's like, yeah, how's that gonna
go? So, the follow-up is in the lawless Outer Rim. The Mandalorian and his young apprentice Grogu work to hunt down these Imperial fugitives. He's taking his baby on bounty hunter missions, mercenary missions.
No, he's his apprentice. Remember?
That's the thing.
Grogu was made his apprentice.
It's like Hera, right? In Ahsoka, she took her son with her to go fight the Sith. I'm like, oh, you're a good mother.
The conclusion to make isn't even that like this is consistent with the show and whatever, but like Mando is a psychopath and he'll go further on that front in this movie than we've even seen in the show. I think there's a couple of aspects in relation to that.
When Grogu showed back up in Book of Boba Fett, he should have said, "I'm taking you back to Luke Skywalker, mate."
Yeah.
Someone should make like a perspective shift edit of this movie from perspective of a 3-year-old infant.
That was the writer. That's the writer. It's a 3-year-old perspective on Star Wars.
Just to be clear, it has goo goo gaga sounds. Like
yeah.
It's just unbelievable. Like Mando and his partner, the Goblin baby. What are you talking about?
I think we talked about this like on basically every movie from this. Like, the fucker is not growing up anytime soon. And we don't have anything to grasp onto with this little shit.
That's what I was saying. It's consistent with the show. He's been doing this for ages.
Exactly.
Well, except that in
some
season
point,
1.
At some point, fucking Mando is going to die of old age, then he can maybe say his first word or something. But he knows how to fucking strap on his little fucking armor or whatever the fuck they call it.
Well, you say that. He doesn't know it until after he's been run headlong into 480-80s.
Yeah. Happens.
But those are not dangerous, though.
I don't exactly remember. I feel like I remember that when we meet Grogu in The Mandalorian, like first few episodes ever, he's much more infantry. He's much more like infant.
He's basically like entirely a baby with just hints of there's a powerful creature in there. But they realize, of course, he needs more decision-making abilities, otherwise the show just can't do anything at all.
At the time, he was supposed to be like in his 50s.
Yes.
So he made progress over years, like 3 years with being a Mando. I don't even know what the timeline is.
Than real human beings do, despite the fact that his actual lifespan is like 1,000 years. It's like actually the inverse. He progresses faster than a normal person does, despite, living 10 times as long as a normal person does. It's
so
hilarious.
He just lived 50 years. Infant that entire time. Then in like a few months of knowing Mando, he suddenly is like an intelligent.
I think they have to. They made this mistake before. We've sort of done this before and talked about this before about how much of a waste it is to carry your protagonist with essentially a deuteragonist who's not really an agent, who can't really communicate or speak. They're just sort of around when you could have used them to bounce off of and explore things and all the potential that comes along with it. And so now I feel like once we're essentially let's just call it what it is, 4 seasons into the Mandalorian show, and they're like, fuck, maybe the baby should have thoughts and a bit of sapience to him, like maybe do some gesticulations, maybe nod like you can understand. Because, dear God, we need him to start kind of acting like a character.
And even though they have those additional abilities, they don't have any real meaningful connection between the two of them.
They threaten to at one point, but they never do.
The interesting thing, this is kind of beside the point, but there's an entire video. The photos got posted that was on Twitter of his mechanics, the puppets, right? But there's an entire video of 30 minutes. It's a big video of the sort of creators or the owners of the puppet, explaining its mechanics and moving around the puppet and its muscles. And explaining how it works. It's very interesting, and what I noticed in that entire video, they make Grogu make so many facial expressions, so many different variations. It's a very capable puppet. But in the movie, it has 2, 3 at most which is insane.
Yeah, it's very
right?
bland.
Yep.
Very
It's
unexpressive.
Yeah. And I want to praise the movie. I mean, I want to praise anything that uses like physical puppets. I think they're very cool and very interesting, and we should do it more.
Not in this
but,
case.
Yeah, they're even lazy about like actually moving the puppet around in a way to make emotions. Like there are multiple, and we'll get to it, but there are multiple times in this movie where you were expecting Grogu to
Looks
be
like absolute
deeply
shit.
affected, but he's not. He just has a frozen face. And I thought the puppet was not capable of it, but then I watched that video and it's more than capable of expressing all that.
Well, as was said, these Empire remnants, there's actually two leaders.
I can't believe Sheva almost fucked up that entire boss fight for me. Tried to give her the ammo I had, didn't take it all, then picked up the mines that I was trying to get. That was seconds away from going completely wrong.
In this film that we've actually seen before in Mando season 3, as part of that council. So it's neat that we got 2 of those and Gus, so a few more left. But then who knows what will happen when
Did I miss? So John Favreau said, I'm sure.
Yes.
I don't. So he said there's one of the names of these guys, and I think fans are going to be really, really pleased when they hear it.
Janu.
And I got through all of the movie, and it's like I have no idea who you're referring to.
Lord
and then
Janu.
I just look it
How
up.
about that?
It's like, oh, it sounds it's Janu Coin. It's like, and I'm pleased to hear that name because
coins. I like coins. Money.
Name.
I like money. I like
but
money.
he's in
Money
10
is great.
seconds of Mando season 3. Why are fans excited for that?
Well, because of his incredibly interesting personality and demeanor and mannerisms
Yeah.
that make him a cool, iconic villain instead of just generic thug number X293459 that you've seen 10,000 times before in a million movies.
Well, one of the guys there, he's got this little meeting going because it's the prologue now. It's gonna be exciting. It's actually all the snowy sort of bits you see in the trailer footage in the background. That's what this scene is. But he's having a chat with some guys on the table, and he's.
All right, I'll be right back. Gonna grab some water.
He says, I think we can all agree things were better under the Empire. Fortunately, I'm still here to protect you. Your communities can thrive under my protection. You are the lucky few. I swear to God, with this line already, I was like, whoa.
Okay, that's like word for word.
Yeah, that's word
But you
for
delivered
word.
it better because he doesn't emphasize thrive. So like the guy is extremely monotone. So he says, "I am still here to protect you. Your communities can thrive under my protection." And it felt like repetition. The thrive thing is the thing you really want to emphasize there, because that's the thing that you're modifying the sentence. He's trying to ostensibly sell these people a pitch. It's like, you will thrive because of me. They have protection. Apparently, it's not very good. That's why they're all here. But he's still promising them that, you know, things were better under the Empire. I'm continuity Empire, so this is like the best arrangement you can hope for. I think you can do loads with that, right? So that's a potentially really interesting premise. So remember that, is it Werner Herzog in Mando Season 1? The Empire improves every system it touches, fade opportunities. That's about as interesting as Mando ever got. But if you were doing a movie sort of predicated on that and talking about how the New Republic are really struggling because the Empire still has all of these resources, anyone with a Star Destroyer can protect the entire system, that could have been fascinating. So like, the delivery was shit, but I liked the idea that I thought the movie, I didn't ever think the movie was going to do it, but like, it could have done that. It was an interesting idea for a story. Shame they chose a different one.
I'd say throw the line out just because I don't believe that he'd be saying this right now. We should be coming into like a stage 2 or 3 part of this conversation, not a he's explaining to them his job for them. It's like the whole reason they're here is to say you're not doing the job well. But if the other problem is repeating protection and protect, it's like, Dave, come on, one with dynamic lines instead of saying the same thing twice.
Yeah, could have been a neat world-building conversation. Just picture a guy who like actually tried to convince people that the New Republic is just look at what they've done. The Empire, yeah, we're not as good as we used to be, but we're still very strong. We have a lot of military forces. The galaxy's big. You should side with us over the New Republic. Here are all the reasons why. We do. And then they ask him questions, and he's got answers ready for those questions because he's expecting them. Oh, I can see why this would actually happen in the universe.
And so,
I have a question. How is any of what you guys just said connected to the movie that I watched?
It's not.
this is why skipping the prologue
Good, I
is
thought-
the movie's plot. So, it goes on, but that which I provide is expensive, and now I must maintain all of it without the Empire's support until the galaxy realizes what they've lost. Long live the Empire! Very generic.
It's like, and now I must maintain all of it without it. You've been doing it for 10 years.
It's been a while.
Now? What he could have done, I think, to make this make a lot more sense, almost like a prologue to a prologue, or at least an implied prologue to the prologue. This guy was in charge of basically this entire system. He had a huge amount of resources. He suffered some major setbacks. Maybe he's been fighting with the New Republic or pirates, have taken out half his fleet or whatever it is. And like, he's in a newly disempowered position, and these people are coming now to complain at him because he has lost the thing that makes him powerful. Then you can kind of begin with this scene, and then, as you mentioned earlier, like, join it a little bit later in the conversation in the middle of an actual argument, because these people have a legitimate grievance. And I can buy it way more easily. It feels like it's part of an ongoing, developing universe. Something has recently happened to put him in a precarious position, and he's now dealing with the consequences of that. When you introduce it, it's like, oh yeah, now things are tricky because the Empire just disappeared yesterday. I don't believe you actually have like set yourself in this universe. You've just kind of set the cameras rolling, and now everything kicks off story-wise.
I've never actually died on that part before. I don't know what happened there. It took excessive amounts of damage.
So, one of the guys on the table says, Your Excellency, we're operating at a loss. The trade routes are plagued with pirates and thieves. Just like, okie dokie, yeah. And so I guess that's a problem to solve, right? It's getting worse, it's getting tighter. And then he's like, are you saying my protection is lacking? Which I was like, oh, boring. He's not going to actually solve it. He's just going to be mad. And so I thought he was saying that it's like, so he's going to force him to grovel, I guess. And the guy is like, no, Your Excellency. And then he gets shot. More than boring. I was like, are you retarded? That dude was probably more on your team than the people he's going to be replaced by. And what do the others think about you now? Like, so not only are we kind of screwed in general, they're not going to fix the problem. They're just going to shoot us and blow it up.
presents with that option, maybe it's better to just fight you guys.
Well, at this point, maybe side with the pirates. Just be like, hey, we'll work for you. Like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Just absolutely stupid. And you know, it's seconds before I'm like, great, the DNA is still here. Sequel DNA, or even just, you know, Matt Wright DNA of what's that? A subordinate is suggesting something that's very reasonable? Kill him. Like, great.
Imagine a show that was like a mix between Star Wars and England, right? And you really had this sort of political crime boss, imperial remnant kind of thing going on with actual competent people who had different personalities and plans to get power back or establish little fiefdoms on planets. That would be so fucking cool.
I just wish that a leader would recognize what he's saying, which is, I can't keep paying you. Like, it's not possible because the protection's not good enough.
Don't have the money.
Instead of just being like, well, you'll pay more. It was more of a like, right then, well, we gotta solve that shit, or I gotta decide if I'm just cutting you out, like, completely. As like spending any resources on you. He just gets mad because that's the kind of character
villains are more interesting other than unreasonable ones that are just like psycho weirdos. You're like, man, oh well. I guess
to open the conversation with like, we all agree Empire controls better because you can just randomly get executed for asking reasonable questions. Yay! And he says, yeah, perhaps you should all go back to your ships and focus on solutions, not excuses. You're like, dude, they can't pay you.
Yeah.
Like, what's gonna happen?
Physically don't have the money.
But, you know, it's just how it goes. And, yeah, while they're chatting, just, unfortunately, Mando is gonna start turning up, and he's doing the thing everyone was going nuts over for some reason with the trailer, where he like, points his flamethrower at the floor, and it spreads out to hit 2 stormtroopers on each side. It's like, oh, but, like, you're fire bad for you too, Mando. Like your armor.
In fact, Fire, as much as prior episodes of the show make him seem like he's fireproof, it's like, well, you're wearing fabric and shit. Like, Fire's actually one of the biggest problems for you, you know, compared to just dealing with blasters, where you're basically impervious for some reason.
Well, we're gonna have the same logistical problems that come down to all of the combat in this that we had in the series that we've been griping about for years at this point. I guess to take back just a few moments before his entrance into, I guess, this room in particular, he just sort of shows up in the front door at this Imperial facility and just starts shooting essentially everything. There's no cleverness, there's no plan, there's no anything. He just shows up like he knows he has incredible power. He knows he cannot be touched, and he just shoots all the bad guys and they die. And that describes the combat. That's it.
And every time they shoot him, they hit his best armor. Every time they hit his best armor, they never manage to hit the gas, which is really funny when in Mando Season 3 they have fucking stormtroopers with Beskar armor, and the Mandalorians manage to kill them. You know, it's like they can aim to a place that nobody else can.
And the Mandalorian and
well
are the patron saints of plot armor at this point. You'd probably be hard pressed to find better examples of plot armor.
Can you think of any other, you know, story where there was a scene where the main character charges into a hallway, gets hit by 50 blaster shots, collapses to the ground, and then throws a grenade and blows them all up, and he's fine because every single shot hits the Beskar armor.
And it's only covering like half the bottom.
John Wick.
John Wick. Yeah, John Wick. Yeah, but even John Wick doesn't. Well, I guess it's because John Wick will hold up his fucking. Block, and it's just.
Remember John Wick 4 with it? With them and them, and it was them.
Yeah. So Grogu's also like running around freely, doing things. You watch him like kill a droid. It's very strange. It's just like, is this really the dynamic? You both he's like, there's a big enemy stronghold. Let's both go. As though Grogu can't just be instantly shot by someone at some point.
You say that's what I was thinking, but really,
it would be.
You wait here.
You know, well, that's actually a funny thought. The fact that, like, Grogu has... Oh, Jesus, I'm coughing. Grogu has Beskar, and yet they will never show him getting shot because they know it's like, that would be just horrible.
He does like a Beskar, but it's like one round thing on his chest, and that's it.
And the chain. The chain metal as well.
They never even did like a proto missile.
Bring his other attack.
Grogu is force choking.
He's getting. He's choking on the gas they used to capture Mandalorian the first time.
Oh yeah.
This movie.
Oh my god.
Brady's gonna collapse
So,
and fight with it.
big evil General Captain Commander Man, he got into an elevator and he's gotten away for now. Mando is gonna go and grab, I guess just, I don't know, fucking designation actors, I just think ATST. He gets in, he like steals someone's ATST to blow them up before they get Grogu, which by the way, the shot is like a half-meter away from Grogu. I don't even know if Mando knew how close it was, to the point where it's like the best damage that ever gets done to Grogu this whole movie is basically from Mando directly. But good job, Father of the Year.
I was just wondering how the hell the scout trooper is. I think it's an ATRT, I think it is, but like how he didn't even spot, because like he rocks up on this thing and Grogu's standing out in the open, and then you see it from the trooper's point of view, and Grogu's just disappeared. So then he gets off of it, but like the last thing this guy's heard is that the base is under attack from inside the base. So rather than going inside the base, he gets off his ATRT, and then he has a generic like bleeper device that seems to be tracking some local movement. Like, yeah, what? Like, is that a tracking fob from season 1 or a DNA spike from season 3?
We don't talk about those.
And then, like, can you not just look for footprints, surely? But then Mando, teleports around behind him and shoots him, so he's fine. But like, it's just, why is Grogu even hit? The instruction seems to have been off screen, as I know it's too dangerous inside the base, so you stay out here. But then just apply the same logic. It's like, no, actually, this entire mission is too dangerous. You stay at home.
I mean, they have fucking Zed with them. Just stay with Zed.
Yeah.
Nah. So yeah, Mando realizes like I need to get down a cliffside. It's quite steep to get to these.
Why does he think this?
Well, I don't know. Listen, okay. It's like hard to pick a first floor. I was just gonna go with like, man, a Mandalorian is struggling to decide how he gets down a cliff. So he's like, I know. I'll get into my AT-RT if that's what the designation is. And it's like, why don't you just use your jetpack?
Yep.
You got a jetpack. Why would you use that? And I don't know if anyone in chat, if you've seen it, it's in some of the marketing, like there's the scene for it, but it looks just awful. It's just the worst thing ever, and it doesn't look like it would ever work even. Like the thing would topple immediately, going down to that speed at that angle. It's just, like, they call it all terrain, but it's only all terrain for the heroes.
Doesn't mean all terrain. Like literally every single terrain possible, like a fucking 60-degree slope. Might even be high.
Well, what's funny, of course, he's like
angle than that, honestly.
Once he's down there and he takes a close enough hit or whatever, he has to jetpack off the thing. It's like, could have just done that to begin with, but don't worry about it.
I mean, it's just when he's running around the AT-ATs, it's like, damn man, you're going a lot slower than if you were just flying. Like,
and he's a lot more vulnerable because they can't hit him as easily if he's just flying.
This movie sounds phenomenal. I mean, like, just absolutely selling it for me.
It's just all stupid already.
What's funny, he's wearing his baby as armor. Like, he's got Grogu in front of him, so like he's double Beskar.
Well, he has like a plot armor rating of 7,000%, but Grogu's is like 10,000, so it's just doubling up in a way. Yes, it's very feeble, all the attempts to stop him, and it's almost pointless to think about because he's put himself in more danger than he even needed to be anyway. It just feels like they're playing it like this is action. Informed by nothing. Someone might call it embarrassing that this is the first few minutes. But
this is my least favorite part of the game.
People even that I enjoy their assessments of stuff, saying the first scene is pretty solid. It's like really fun action.
It's really not. Yep. It's so. It's like we haven't even gotten to the reason why he's come down this cliff yet.
It's so funny that people, give a pro of this movie like as a good thing of like, oh, there are not many cameos. Like it doesn't. Yes, they are. There are.
Well, yeah,
like,
there are.
Luke does not show up. Darth Vader doesn't show up because they used that up already. They can't do that anymore. But there's more than that.
Like I'm reminded again of Daredevil. Oh, it's better that Spider-Man's not here because that would be a cameo. It's like, well, it's not a cameo. He lives in New York and he's a superhero.
New York's a cameo.
Why wouldn't he be there? Like, don't think about it like that. It's not a cameo because you know their name and they were in something else. Like, that's not what it's like meant to be described in spirit when you're using cameo as a pejorative.
When I think of cameo is when Stan Lee was like a random character.
Well, that's a cameo, yeah.
That's a cameo.
Like a real cameo, like an
a
actual
character in universe who has stakes in the town he's living in. 100% help out.
You can't use it in an insulting way. Like, you could kind of say that Sigourney Weaver's got a cameo in this movie. You'd be like, what? She's the main character. And you're like, well, is she? Is she though?
On paper, she's an important
So he drops some explosives on an AT-AT's leg, and it disrupts it enough that it slips off the very narrow bit of cliff that it's on, which just fucks it up to the point where it's destroyed.
I don't believe those explosives would deal nearly enough.
Well, we know it wouldn't, because we've all seen Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
We know how...
They're not the people who made this movie.
These things are, like, they're not unstoppable, but they are supposed to be almost unstoppable. They are, like, relentless, extremely strong. You have to be really lucky and extremely skillful to get past even one of them. Now you've got 4, and the hero just goes past them as though they're just average stormtroopers. They're that retarded.
Yeah, they can't hit them.
But at this point, say, well,
can't.
okay, so Mando is this good and this invincible against something that should be almost impossible to stop. So, like, there's no stakes now for the rest of the movie at this point. I know what he's capable of.
Yeah.
For me, there was a problem from the get-go when I started watching the movie. It's like, I know he's fucking invincible. There's no stakes. I've seen the show. I know that he's not gonna die or get hurt or anything.
It would be a lot more acceptable and, God forbid, entertaining if he acted like he was not invincible. If we went into this knowing that, yeah, obviously Mandalorian's not going to die, but the way that he acted in the film was like, oh shit, 3 AT-ATs. I have to think of a plan. I have to try and be clever. I have to use some level of tactics or skill instead of just, I will charge at them in this AT-RT and hope that the 79 shots they shoot at me at point blank will just all miss. And like, man, there is nothing interesting about you. Just beat the bad guys effortlessly. That's fun to watch, I guess. And I suppose for a lot of people that is actually really fun to just see the hero always get missed by all of the blaster shots and he acts like he's invincible. But that's just boring to me. It's what makes the first John Wick movie so good. It's because John Wick doesn't act like he's invincible. He acts like if he gets shot in the face, he'll die, and he plans accordingly.
Yeah, he even uses a Kevlar vest in that one.
Oh man,
Armor.
The olden days, I remember them well.
I feel comfortable saying that The Mandalorian is one of the, if not the most, just boring Star Wars characters put on, like, given this much screen time, obviously. I mean, he had some charisma, I think, like, at the beginning of the show when they were still figuring it out. But the moment he became, like, a daddy character and, like, a nanny for this creature, it was done. Like, he is boring. And Pedro Pascal is phoning it in. He does not care. He is so uncharismatic, so uninteresting, so boring. His body language is boring. His voice acting is boring. His actions, the way he's written is boring. Again, like...
Yeah, it's what he says, how he says it, and everything he does is very boring. There's nothing interesting about him. He's not even, like, a character, really. He's a very bare bones archetype who, like I said, in the original, when they were still figuring him out, he was like stoic, somewhat mysterious, reserved, kind of tough guy.
He had some trauma, man. He had some trauma.
Yeah, but then we dropped every aspect of what you could call like a personality or a character or anything like that. And he's just sort of a mongoloid who just goes in guns a-blazing because he knows he's invincible and he just wins all the time because the plot says he is. And there's never anything interesting. There's never anything, like I said, there's no cleverness to it, ever.
After seeing how much Pedro Pascal is in this movie, like his face, I mean, I'm convinced the negotiations on his contract, they weren't even about the movie. It was all about the fucking marketing, because that's where he would be spending all of his time. He's been doing all kinds of crazy shows and interviews and everything. So what I guess I'm getting at is that Star Wars as a whole probably like, listen, we'll reduce your scenes, because he probably even likes making movies in theory, but like we're paying you a lot. You gotta get out there. You gotta get on The View, bro. You gotta talk to Whoopi Goldberg. You got to talk to Stephen Colbert.
Yeah.
You got to get this
Oh
movie out there.
God, not them.
We can't advertise this on what's in it. we gotta get people in and other stuff. Talk
They
about
don't even know.
the
None of them have
Grogu.
seen it.
Which I guess, because this film was shot, I want to say around about the same time as Fantastic Four, so he was busy doing that, I guess. You know, making that amazing movie that everybody cared about that didn't, you know, die immediately. And also, isn't it funny that the director of that movie is now going to do a Planet of the Apes movie rather than doing a sequel to Fantastic Four?
Rather than being fired.
This is like from the Planet of the Apes franchise. That's like something that went completely past me. How many of those are there now? Like 700?
There's four, and this next one's not going to be a continuation of the fourth one. Oh, these are 4 of the new ones. If you include the old ones, I think it's like 8 or 9.
Right.
Yeah, there's a bunch.
Yeah, that's a lot. Oh, and if you include that remake as well, the one with Mark Wahlberg, right? Mark Wahlberg?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Tim Burton.
Tim Burton? Yeah. Then, I don't know, it's like Ted.
A classic.
At least he tried something.
So in
yeah.
in one AT-AT you got like main Commander Man, and then in the other one there's lesser Commander Man, and Mando's about to attack the lesser Commander Man one, and they're both like, "Where is he? Oh my God! I think he's oh jeez, oh God, what are we gonna do?" And you get just I don't even know. It's just a scene where it's what Rags was talking about. Door opens, there's a bazillion people. He's just like boom, 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 dodge. I say dodge, block because of his armor. Fires his grapple, fires the flamethrower, shoots his gun again, shoots his gun, and you're just like, yeah, this is how it goes every single time. They can't do anything against him.
Camera's on me. Yeah. Kill him. Why would he even go for the third and the second? You can just go in the first one. You don't have to worry about the other two AT-ATs. You're not going to fire on the commander's AT-AT while you're in there. Why are you wasting time with the other two? I guess it's because the action seems longer if you do it that way.
You know, you're saying like it can't even act like he could be hurt. It's like it creates this dissonance because he does behave like a Terminator a lot of the time, but stupidly he walks and sort of rushes in certain places and then keeps an eye on like where are people, where he's like, why do you care about any of it, man? It doesn't bother you at all.
What difference does it make?
And then simultaneously he never takes it far enough. He never actually puts himself in some care or gets information to better ambush, or you know, there's like 1 or 2 instances where he does that. There's actually an instance where he does take cover at a time where he absolutely didn't need to. It's like halfway through the movie. And it always strikes me really odd.
Cover. It's not actual.
Yeah, it's all bullshit. It's like none of it ever feels like he's reacting to the actual environment he's in. So he basically clears out all of it, but they close the door on the cockpit, and then you're like, oh, what's Mando gonna do? And it's kind of funny. There's a guy on the radio like, did you get him? Did you get the Mandalorian? Hello? Did you get him? And the guy can answer, but he's just not. And then he's eventually like, he's above us. It's just like, oh my God.
Oh no.
And you're just like, well, yeah, I guess. It's like, you locked him out of the front way, but whatever.
You also say it's fine, right? Because like, so he's above us, he's outside. You've shut a door so we can't get in. He's now on top. What's he gonna do realistically up there? He's kind of stuck.
They do a wide shot and he blows up the whole AT-AT. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's crazy,
His little exploding things are insane.
Yes, they are.
Oh, it's just funny to think that Mando personally takes down more AT-ATs in this opening sequence in 5 minutes than an entire Rebel force could muster with many of them and ships. And they take out too.
They gotta kill him before we get to the sequel trilogy.
That is ridiculous. The power scaling in this movie is clearly just not there. Mando is just a One Punch Man god tier character. Sounds stupid as fuck.
Surely.
Yeah, he could single.
Yeah, or he'll kill Kylo Ren.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
Or they'll do the thing with like Ahsoka's like, nah, he was fighting battles elsewhere. He was
the Captain Marvel thing. Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
I was protecting other planets from the evil stormtroopers. Like, I don't know, man. I feel like those planets probably got it. You know, the Empire is pretty worthless and incompetent. I think they'll be fine.
I know it's a hot topic right now, but I would say the power scaling is fucked.
Must be a nerd.
True, the power scaling is fucked.
Yeah.
Seeing a lot of cope on. I don't know if you guys have seen any tweets that are like, I don't care about power scaling, but sometimes it gets a little ridiculous. Or, oh, you shouldn't establish this so hard. Or, oh, like the boys always talk about actual numbers, and that's their mistake. It's not that it's power scaling, it's just when they say like, oh, they can survive this many tons of this. It's like, you probably shouldn't do that. It's like, you all care about power scaling. You just don't want to admit it.
Absolutely do. Everyone does. They just don't like the. They don't like the name power scaling. That's it. It's the foundation of stakes and tension. I cannot think of one story that doesn't have it in one form or another. It might be intrinsic to having like
power scaling. The tortoise the hare has power scaling. The hare runs faster than the tortoise. If the hare doesn't run faster than the tortoise, then the point of the story doesn't
Well, David and
make
Goliath,
sense.
and then the fundamental I was tweeting about is like rock, paper, scissors. Like, what are we doing anymore? Like, we need this shit, okay? Please shut up. So main Evilman is like, prep my ship and charge the detonators or something, and Mando breaks in to realize the guy just speeds off in his mini ship that was inside an AT-AT that he got to via the elevator from his main HQ. The most like Rube Goldberg fucking escape plan you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah, it's just a ship that shoots a little. It shoots a little ship out of the side of the AT-AT.
Yeah, that kind of
he's got a little.
caught me off guard.
You almost want to draw a little image, right? That he goes down a chute in the elevator into an AT-AT. It's like you got to go a few miles forward before you can launch in the ship. Okay,
Yeah.
like what? Why? Like, I don't know.
Grievous's little escape tube.
Imagine if you had a ship in the building. Where you live.
No.
A silly idea.
No.
Imagine if the elevator took you straight to it.
So Mando sees this and he's like, I know, I'll use the AT-AT's guns to shoot down that ship. And of course the first thought you have is like, well, but he'd have to fly a very specific path for you to do that. Every alternative path would mean he'd be safe. Lucky for Mando, the guy flies that very specific path. One of the thoughts I was having when I saw it, I was like, man, if only he knew which way was up, but he's Empire, so there's just no way.
Which way was forward?
Which way was any other way than he was going? Like, there's just no other way. That's it. But they do some funny memes. They're like, oh no, Grogu can see that the detonator's about to go off, and he's tapping the helmet like, hey, Mr. Mando, we gotta run. They're gonna go off. They're gonna go off. There's like 10 of them, I think. And everyone I've spoken to asked this same question. Is like, just use the Force to push them out.
I thought that's what was gonna happen. Yeah. I thought Mando was so focused that they do the team thing, and Grogu's like, and he flings them out the side of the AT-AT, because the villain, I mean, conveniently left the timers on those things to be 12 years instead of, you know, like, 20 seconds or whatever. But
extremely slow, and the baby's very aware of them, knows exactly what they are and how much time, and he doesn't use the Force, whereas in every other situation he seems to. So that's weird.
Well, it's the fact that Mando doesn't care.
Well,
like, look, man, I know that this guy's important, but like, you're gonna explode in a second. Like, there's a pile of beeping explosives like 10 feet behind you, man. Like, what are you doing?
Which is funny because later on he tries to explain to Grogu in some capacities, like, no, you gotta look out for all these explosives, and not here.
And so they blow him up, and then the AT-AT blows up, and mission successful, question mark? Of course, the goal was to capture that dude, which you now wonder, like, why did he blow him up when Zeb was just there with a ship? They could have followed him, hit him with anything else, I don't know, whatever, they blew him up.
Well, that would have been an opportunity to show the cleverness of Mando, where he knows he has to capture him, but he's in this big facility, so he baits him to go into a ship which has a tracking device on it, or instead of going through the front door and just blasting everybody, he like tries to get in from the back, or get it burst in through the window during, like, everyone's pointing at the door when he's coming, but actually he bursts through the window, grabs him, and then flies out, or something subversive and interesting. I think he just wanted to kill him from the get-go, because remember the elevator when he tosses the grenade down? He wanted to kill him at that point too.
Also, it is funny to watch, if you watch all the show, but only Mandalorian, and then you watch this movie with someone who hasn't seen it, and he flies into the ship, and Zeb's there like, haha, hey buddy, doing dialogue as though they've been together forever, and someone's like, hey, who's that? And you're just like, oh.
I was about to ask, because I did not have the time to rewatch the shows.
He appears in the Mando show, but like, we're talking very briefly, and he's a cameo to reference a different show.
because I remembered his face. But I was like, since when is he hanging out with him?
Yeah,
Like,
he just is.
what?
He's from Star Wars Rebels, but that's kind of the weird thing about the way the key jangles work in this, because Zeb doesn't get anything. He's just a character who says some exposition, and he's there to be like, look at me, woo, look at me. Like, all right.
Oh yeah.
I always like when I have like a
me.
genuine question about a thing of a movie, and then I ask people who did more homework. It's like, yeah, I still have no idea. He's from some other
Yeah,
thing
no,
we've never
you
seen
can
before.
watch all of Mando and all of Ahsoka and have very little idea who he is at all. You will recognize him, but you don't know his backstory, characterization, relationships, history, anything. And like, Dave Filoni has this. I don't know if he just imagines everybody in the world watched his shit cartoons, but most of the world didn't. So there's a couple of moments in this movie alone, and it obviously happens in the shows as well, where you're like, you like the camera's lingering on this guy like I'm supposed to know who he is. I know where he's from because you're lingering on him, but I have no clue. And most people in the audience won't either.
No, but they treat it as though you've known him for ages.
Yeah. Oh yeah, our good buddy Zeb.
It's kind of what I'm getting at. Like, even if you watched Rebels, even if you watched all of the Mando show, this movie would have you convinced that these two are really good friends. There's like, nobody has any context for that, bro. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
What's
'cause
happening?
by that time I made into the screening, so it was like playing in the background as I was trying to like search for my seat and stuff. And I was like, oh, I guess he's in season 3, which I didn't watch. You know, Jack Black and fucking Lizzo in it.
Lizzo.
But
No,
I guess not.
I was listening to Red Letter Media's take on this, and Mike at one point was trying to argue how you could fix the lack of chemistry, and he said, like, you know what Mando needed was give him like a woman or a family to care about, in the sense of, you know, someone, and then maybe an additional guy. And I can't remember if it was Rich or Jay, but they're like, well, but he does have the kid that he's fighting for, and then of course you have Zeb as like the co-pilot, and then of course you get Rota as like the, and then there's sort of this realization of like, oh yeah, I think it's just shit.
He just isn't the character. The writing is terrible. No one in this film says anything interesting. No one really has like a personality. They just sort of say, like, everyone talks as if they're just sort of they talk as if they're expositing what the storyboard kind of says, like the PowerPoint version of the script, but that's the actual script before it gets finalized and like add detail to the people's characters.
He is sterile, like as a character, Mandalorian, and giving him anything.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Zeb.
I don't know if he is, but giving
he's in this.
In this, he is. Yeah, giving Mando anything is almost like trying to address the symptoms instead of like it's the character, it's him. There's nothing there, because what they were discussing was like, if you have a sort of by the book straight man character, it's always good to have a wacky person to bounce off. And it's like, he's not even straight man character. He's not a character. Mando's just extremely boring and thin, shallow.
He's
There's nothing
They
there.
toyed with it in season 1. Is it a season 1 episode where he tries to take Grogu to a planet? I think it's the ATST episode, which has a huge number of like plot-related problems. But isn't that the one where like he wants to leave Grogu behind with this happy community that he's just saved, and there is a woman there who he kind of has a relationship with.
Yeah.
But then some random guy just appears with a tracking fob, and so he has to run away.
Yeah.
Like that's the last time I really remember them doing a relationship with Mando with any other character.
But that's the episode where he takes his helmet off for the first time.
Yeah.
Well, that we see him do it. Yeah, and that's kind of what I mean by the sterilization. It's like we don't want to get him anywhere near, not just like a loving relationship with anybody, but just anything. Like did we get the best friend relationship with Zeb? Like, no, he just had random exposition lines. Like, do we get the father-son relationship with Grogu's? Like, not really. He's doing. You get those little pieces like, oh, do you want to press this button? That means that you yeah, there you go. Oh, you know what? The old take care of the young.
And the stupid puppet.
If I say I told you not to press the button, it implies a history where I have told you not to press the button before this.
A lot of the marketing is like, this is a coming of age father son blah blah blah. You're just like, you just told to say that. I guess there's nothing.
Yeah.
Come
and
on.
they say the line one time in the movie. It's like, oh, I guess that's your theme or something.
And I disagree with the take that he's fighting for Grogu. I think he's fighting against Grogu. I think that he hates that child.
Been trying to kill him without anyone realizing this
Well,
whole
that's
time.
the right thing to do, to be honest, so I don't blame him.
Like, if I wanted
Really
to kill my
famous.
4-year-old, that's exactly what I would do.
Do you remember? They actually
no,
implied that there's a difficulty with Grogu and his training via the whole, like they did this with they introduced it when he was strangling Gina Carano in season 1. I don't know if anyone remembers that, and then they kind of double on it with Ahsoka saying like there's difficulty in training, he could go wrong, it could become something. They've dropped all that, they don't care. Like this, they've forgotten to get another like angle with both these main characters that they were building, and then they just drop, and you're just like, what are you doing? And they're like, listen, we don't want to do anything that could upset anyone. We just want to have them enter a room, shoot stormtroopers, and then go, yeah, we did it.
So he could go wrong. Therefore, let's expose him to as much violence as we can, so he doesn't.
But when he saves Rada, spoilers. But when he lifts Rada out of the pit with the Force, Rada has just like no commentary. Literally, I think he has 0 lines. He has no commentary, that he's just been telekinetically lifted up and had no lines of dialogue, no questions. That's just like, well,
you know what should have happened
you're not
is
a character.
Donkey and Shrek. Rota should have been like, hey, I can fly. And then everyone goes, he can fly. He can talk.
He can talk.
That's
Not
right.
well, but he can talk.
Now I'm a flying talking donkey. Shrek's really good, by the way.
Yeah,
Shrek is great.
the good Green Monster movie.
Yeah.
The good one. The better one.
Next time I'm free, let's just do a episode.
Yeah.
So, yeah, mission complete and they're heading home. That's kind of what, I guess, Fring was talking about. Is like that just felt like the second half of maybe a mid-season finale or some shit. I don't even know. Because they just defeated a major Empire guy, took out a bunch of AT-ATs, whole system. Like, Mando's made more impact in that like throwaway scene than you usually see anyone do in this universe. Think of Andor, dude. Holy shit.
I mean, this show desperately relies on us not thinking about it.
Yeah.
They made the Empire competent, and in this, it's completely the opposite. They're just like a bunch of goofy, silly, worthless idiots that are just disposable cannon fodder for Armor Man to shoot at with his blasters.
That's cool. Oh, so this is something I said right after I finished Andor season. Like, whoa, I can't wait for the next Star Wars stuff to come out and
next
for them
thing
to make the fucking Stormtroopers a fucking joke show again. And here we are, killing like hundreds of them because they're just...
Oh, Sheva, you fucking useless.
I want to, like, imagine the contrast between Andor and Mandalorian, because, I mean, Mandalorian and Grogu. It's just the fact that I was gonna say that it's crazy that, you know, the fact that Andor's character kind of keeps you on edge in that show, right? Because it makes you feel like anything could happen and anything bad could happen to him. And he could die any moment. Like, that's legitimately how you feel the entirety of the show. But then I remembered, he is the character that you know for sure that is gonna survive, because he dies in Rogue One. Because you know he's gonna survive, but it keeps you on edge. In contrast to the Mandalorian, the character that has no guaranteed sort of end, but you never feel like he could get in any trouble, ever.
Yeah, specifically in what you're referencing there, like episode 8 of season 2 is the kind where I was so glued to everything that was happening. You sort of like, it's that feeling briefly, it's like you forget you're watching a TV show because you just want to know what's going to happen.
Yeah. And you forget that Andor does not die in here because they just sell it. They just sell it so well. The danger
he acts
that
like
he's
he can
in.
die.
Yeah.
He acts like he needs to survive, that he is in danger, that
I mean,
what he's doing is very fraught with peril. So you believe it too. You forget that Rogue One exists, and you're like, oh shit, man, he's taking this shit seriously. I need to... If the characters are taking it seriously, then maybe I, as an audience member, should do the same thing. There's a thought.
That fight with Cyril, right? It's like brutal to each other. The blood and smashing explosion. You're just like, oh god, don't happen.
Oh man.
Anyway,
You're making me sad.
I know. Intro credits, which for me, I don't know if it's for anyone else, like you can have intro credits in a film, of course, but these just felt very TV showish to me, like very casual sort of. You know, we're sort of getting this out of the way. It's like this is the cast, you know, just like here they go.
The music louder, then it would be more grandiose.
Yeah.
That's how it came across.
So
when you say like just getting it out of the way, this is, I think it's over 2 minutes long, this sequence. So like, I wouldn't even class it as getting it out of the way. This like already to me was like, oh god, we are killing time. Already we're killing time.
Look at the X-Wings. Listen to the music. We just got done with an action scene. All right, we're Ara farming is what we're doing right now.
There's this funny jump scare for a lot of people, and some of chat won't know this, but we have mentioned it on the stream before. But Martin Scorsese's name does show up.
I know.
Like, wait,
that
wait,
was
what?
an actual jump scare. Yeah, I was like, this must be.
That was the first thing I saw when I looked up. When I said that.
Yeah,
The first thing I
knew
see.
about that. So I was
The
ready
first
for
thing
it.
I see is Martin Scorsese, and the next thing I know is the realization that I will never know what the fuck he did in this movie.
Which I
And
will
it's so
say, is this not profoundly awkward for the people who go to bat for that comment that was never correct in the first place? Yeah, those Marvel movies are kind of, yeah. And then meanwhile, he shows up in a film that's basically like devoid of any creative integrity whatsoever.
Well, and the irony that he did a better voice performance than many of the main characters. It's kind of weird as fuck.
That is
He
kind of funny,
probably did
yes,
the best job of anyone.
It might be the best one, yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
love-
still, why did he agree to be in this movie?
Because he likes
I
theme park rides.
I love his. I love his track record with like acting jobs that he takes. He sort of directs and makes. Yeah, he makes one of like the most greatest movies ever. And then he's in Shark Tale and Mandalorian and Grogu. I think he's just troll. He's a troll.
He's a troll. Well, it's appreciated, you know. It's just,
Some relationship with Favreau, is that the reason he's in this? It's
More
like
than
he's
likely,
kind
yes.
of- Yeah. But just on the killing time point though, this is I think it's just this is because they've spent so long writing for streaming TV, and it shows how wildly inefficient you're allowed to be when you've been given a couple $100 million up front for like an 8-episode TV show. It's guaranteed pretty much to get a second season as well. And there's no strings attached. You don't have to do anything with that money. You just have to make something that can go on a streaming service. And so there's no mind to efficiency at all. Like you don't have to tell a big story. You don't have to really watch like your money because you've got so much of it. You don't have to do characters or story or plot or nothing of that matters. You've just been given unlimited money for unlimited time, and you can waste as much of the audience's time as you want because you're not going to get cancelled. And so when I see a 2-minute opening credit sequence in a 2-hour movie where I already know the story is going to be really thin, it's like it's not going to be written like a movie. Already you know that it's not going to be written like a movie because a movie couldn't get away with this if it actually has anything meaningful it wants to do later. It's got a really, really shockingly bad start, and it's a whiplash thing as well after the Rise of Skywalker pace of the opening bit, and then it's 2 minutes of fuck all. And you know it's going to be much more fuck all coming later as well. Dave Filoni, there was that thing with Kathleen Kennedy when she was talking about the people taking over from her, and she was clearly really keen on the business appointment. And then when it came to Dave Filoni, he's like, oh, he's learning really well, you know, he's practicing, he's getting so much better at this live action business. It's like, he's not though, is he? And she was right to kind of warn about that. She was correct. He needs to learn, and he hasn't learned yet.
One of the things I noted was that they've taken pains to make sure he doesn't look as absolute shit when walking, specifically Grogu. I want to remind the audience of Season 3, Episode 8.
That was rough.
Just a little snippet here of him walking and how absolutely pathetic this is, considering how much money goes into it. Look at that.
Oh,
that
man.
is Team
Like
America,
Team America.
but Team America did it on purpose.
Yes.
This is insanely
The
bad.
puppetry.
He is just
Awesome.
floating, and some
And I will
puppeteer is
say-
spamming.
They did not try at all.
As well, I find it almost fascinating that there are heaps of instances where Grogu was CG, but they try to make him look like a puppet. That feels like a metaphor of some kind of we need to use CGI to make it look like it's real, like a real authentic puppet.
Well, it's
Herzog told them off in season 1. So Herzog is obviously really big on practical absolutely everything, and he quite liked the puppet he interacted with. And then Favreau told him about this CG version they were doing for this scene, and Werner Herzog, being Werner Herzog, basically said, "You're all cowards. What are you doing?"
True.
And I think maybe that's stuck with them.
Cowards.
You are cowards.
So, do you know we were on a real BBC episode, and Gary was mentioning that character instead of Herzog, and then Az just went, "Rest in peace." And the carried on.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And I was like, what? And he was, we were talking for a while, and he was just like, yeah, rest in peace. And then Gary got confused, as like he maybe mentioned the wrong person. There was like, where the hell's he's not dead? Why are you saying that? And then Gary was like, don't put that out there. You'll kill him. Like, that's how it works. It's always the fucking way it works.
We'll have a situation like, yeah.
Too many, man. Too many.
Rest in peace.
Sorry.
It's just, yeah, sorry.
Well, go ahead.
I was meant to say that just the puppetry in this movie is just a good example of it basically is a representation of the fact that the Baby Yoda being a puppet is more of a marketing ploy than them being interested in the art of it all.
Yep.
They just don't care because they don't care because the puppet is capable of a lot. They don't
believe in it whatsoever. It is an aesthetic. That's all they care about, and that's why it annoys me when I'm on shows and people say like, "Oh, it's always better when it's puppetry than CG." It's like, don't let them do that to you. That's the whole fucking idea. It's all the marketing is.
If the Balrog was a puppet, it probably wouldn't have been as good.
I would defend that it was the correct decision for sure to make that CGI. Look at that fucking thing. It's amazing. But also the sort of the thing about like adhering to comic accurate costumes in, let's say, superhero movie stuff. Giving them points for that, it's like they don't actually want that, dude. They never wanted it. They're just doing it because it appeases people. It's the only fucking reason.
I can't fucking believe that just happened. I can't fucking believe that just happened. I didn't even press a button, and it just released. If I have to redo that whole part, I swear to fuck.
They don't think it looks good. They don't care. They're just like,
stupid.
whatever. Yeah.
They think it's dumb, and they think you're dumb, and they want your money.
No.
And they get it. They laugh at you. They go, ha 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 ha. That's what they're doing.
If they thought that you were a smart, discerning, intellectual, human being, then they wouldn't make movies like The Mandalorian and Grogu, and then charge you $15 a fucking ticket to go and see this movie.
The people they've got doing this work, I'm sure they work hard. I'm sure they're somewhat passionate, but the care is so fucking clear. And first of all, the shot we just showed, but also I always bring this one up because it's mind-boggling that this is even something they put in the show. This is Grogu walking away in Season 2, Episode 2.
No!
Holy shit.
How did that stay in? You know what I mean?
You guys
Like,
know
on the Marvels.
Inside
all the people who do the
Lucasfilm's a
costumes and the makeup
failure.
and a lot of the behind the scenes and background stuff, like they put their heart and soul into all this stuff that ultimately has nothing to do really with the story or the narrative or the characters or the themes or anything like that. Because these movies are, it's a big team effort, and a lot of people they really give it their all. It's just a shame that these people who give it their all are never the people who are in charge of this story.
The two people have just said, it's like, looks like a wind-up toy, looks like a remote-controlled thing. It's like, these two things may very well be what is part of how this thing works, but the whole idea is you're supposed to trick us into thinking it's not. And that's what I mean by, like, they've got technology, they've got money, but how did anyone see that? Like, the people who really care, like, any given, like, Jim Henson style, I just can't imagine they would ever be okay with letting something like this go in any parts of their work. If they really, they'd be like, no, this isn't it. You've taken the device, so to speak, and then you've just, what is this? Like, who have you got on the remote controller?
If the Muppets were there in universe, they would make fun of Grogu.
Yeah.
What's going on inside this puppet is it's on a remote control. It sort of wiggles and jiggles to make it seem like it's walking, but in reality it's on wheels.
And you can see the wheel marks in the snow underneath it, which
you
is
can.
nuts.
Wait, hang on, I'll get it back up.
It's just his feet dragging. It's just his feet dragging a bit because he's shuffling. That's all it is.
What I find funny in that sort of beginning scene where Mando and Grogu are walking is just, my sister caught it. It's just so uncanny to watch such a, like, Mandalorian is 20 times bigger than Baby Yoda is. But Baby Yoda can keep up with him somehow, with his tiny legs, tiny legs.
They only show very short little bits of him walking alongside Mandalorian.
Yeah,
they never want to link on that because they have to show what kind of effort it would take.
In the Book of Boba Fett, he had to walk alongside Luke, and they couldn't do it, so like Luke just kept picking him up with the Force and plonking him down ahead of it. And it's like, that's shit, but it's kind of better than pretending he can walk.
That's why he needs his little old man scooter that he has.
It's implied that Mando, sort of Ellen Ripley and Grogu are walking at the same speed together. It's just so weird.
But yes, they do put some more CG effort in to hide the flaws of the animatronics that they apparently don't take full effort with. But sometimes, you know, I'm sure they put more effort into the animatronics even than in the show. Even though, just want to make sure everyone understands the show is expensive as shit. And it's the show's sort of nature as a flagship show for Star Wars on Disney Plus that made this movie happen. So, you know, you'd think they take a bit more care, but by the time you get to season 3, you understand how much they're rushing through it. They just do not give a shit. So yeah, he goes in and he's getting some looks, and it seems like it's already come back, like the word that he just blew everything up on this mission. And so Sigourney Weaver is like, hey, we need information. Without it, we're never going to get to the bottom of what the Empire's up to, which is really funny.
Too much emotion into that line.
So I was going to say, I really like Sigourney Weaver. She's an awesome actress at her best. What the fuck was she doing in this? And I mean that in both ways. Why did you do this? And also, why did you do it this way? You didn't put any. When you get to her lines in the X-Wing, I think they're the worst in the whole movie. Of just like, whoa, you're like trying to sound like you don't give a fuck. What a shame to have her for that brief of amount of time. And I guess Jon Favreau or whoever was on set directing her was just like, yeah, that's good enough. Yeah, whatever.
I think it's
well,
more.
I can't say that Sigourney Weaver did a, phoned it in or did a bad job.
Yeah, I think it's more of a directing problem. I think she was
At least
told
Laura
that she was
Dern
gonna
gave a
sound
shit,
and look
I guess.
badass.
Got a lot of crazy good performances in the sequel trilogy from a lot of actors that were playing awful characters and with awful writing, you know? But, wow, just as if we didn't need more, because we've already got Mando, who's basically dead throughout the whole film in every line he delivers. Now we got Sigourney Weaver, his, so to speak, boss, who's just like, look, we need information on the Empire and what they're up to. Like, oh,
but
wow.
You have to go and get it.
Okay. But yes,
she stuck around for 3 Avatar movies, so I think this is not.
Yeah, she's the queen of sci-fi at this point, and it's really sad because she's only in these modern sci-fi things as the girl who was in Alien. Like, right.
It's so weird hearing that Sigourney Weaver's voice come out of like a 14-year-old kid in that.
Oh
Avatar
God,
movie. It's just weird. That's it's so uncanny and weird. You're like, you are an old woman, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that you're an old woman, and this character's like 14 years old, but you sound like an old woman. You are being robbed genetically.
Take it. Roger.
This is never brought up again. What the Empire's up to, we never find out. Never even get like a hook of like, we know what it is, and it's gonna shock you, and then we hit credits.
No, it's just implied bad stuff, and that's all you need for the story.
What's
Stormtroopers bad, Empire bad. That's it. You have to stop whatever it is they're up to.
It's what we've been
doesn't even matter what
discussed earlier, right? Like they want to move, but they also can't move at all. The story, so it's like, oh, the Empire, yeah,
Progressing the story might mean that one day we won't have stormtroopers to shoot in endless droves. And we can't have that. We have to. Oh my God! It's like the Mihai Csikszentmihalyi thing. They have to be stuck in the middle. Oh man, that's taking it back.
It is. And so we have the opening exposition about the need to find this information. The Zed telling us we gotta be getting that information. Now we've got Sigourney Weaver telling us gotta get that information. It's just like, oh boy, this story's definitely about getting that information. It's not though. Like,
what?
Yeah, because that's what he says, just give me time and I'll take out every bad guy in the deck of cards. You're like, no, you're not listening. we need to get information, you fucking lemon. Why are you saying these things? And she says it's not about revenge, it's about preventing another war and protecting everything. Yeah, I gotta stop at that sentence, haven't I? Preventing another. That's just remarkable.
The New Republic always has the issue of, as many things are, knowing that in not too long, in fact, relatively soon, the New Republic will be eradicated and 5 planets will be exploded.
Yes, but it won't be a regrettable situation considering what we see them get up to in terms of both being extremely retarded and hyper-aggressive to the point of clearly they're looking for a war.
Hyper but selectively aggressive. That's the weird thing. That they don't intervene where and when they should, but they do intervene where and when they shouldn't.
Yeah.
Slaves on Canto Bight? Whatever.
Well, come on, dude. They're fledgling. They just started up. They've only had about a decade. Give them a second.
There are ways, though, to write that as a legitimate example. If you get into the political turmoil about what happens when a power vacuum is sort of created, and a lot of people, especially because we're gonna be clear, the Clone Wars, they kind of just happened not long ago. It's how like from this point back, how long ago?
About 30 years.
Most adult, I guess all adults, pretty much, they remember the Clone Wars. That's something in memory, and the effects of the Clone Wars are very big politically. The series doesn't really want to talk about it, and that's one of the weaknesses of the series. But there, you kind of had two big back-to-back galaxy-spanning wars that just happened. But no one really acts like that's the case.
You know, maybe one half interesting thing in Mando season 3 where they come across an old separatist who's still like a diehard Dooku loyalist. It's like that could have been really interesting, but then he gets zapped by freaking what's her name, because they can't be talking about politics. So that was that, and then otherwise, also in Mando season 3, they try and have it where is it Navarro gets attacked by the seaweed pirate? Star Wars, isn't it wonderful? And
pirate.
They petition the New Republic for help, but then they do at least say, no, we're so overstretched, we can't do it. And the guy goes all the way to Coruscant to try and get help from them, but then the bureaucracy. It's that Sub Andor episode where it's like, there's almost something there where they're talking about how the New Republic's bureaucracy is already strangling it and it's reproducing the worst features of the old regime, and this is why they're unable to get help against the pirates. But beyond those 2 episodes, there's kind of just nothing.
Yeah. I mean, I think we were talking about it at the time when we were watching that episode. I mean, Christopher Lloyd's character is unironically could be an incredibly interesting and very unexplored type of character, of which there would be millions and millions of across the galaxy that they just never want to get into.
Yeah.
I'll give you more.
I suppose addressing the Clone Wars statement you were making there, Rags, that it's just that none of the characters, so none of the main character has any connection to the Clone Wars. You know, there's nothing really that happened during that would have affected them in any way that it would come up.
True.
So, never mind. Also, by the way, explaining to Mando how the job works, just and what the job is, annoying exposition, but simultaneously irrelevant soon enough. It's like the story doesn't really care about it that much.
Fascinating trait of Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni writing.
Yeah. But yeah, the end of that sentence is that they need to protect everything the rebellion fought for. I almost find it kind of gross, right? Like,
good luck.
Because all the effort for everything Disney has made has just undone every achievement from the rebellion in the OTs. It's like, well, never mind.
Well, yeah. Imagine if they had the balls to make an episode 7, 8, 9, 10, and you had what happens after the Rise of Skywalker. It's like, I don't fucking know, man. Who cares? Actually, who cares? This is a certified who cares moment.
They're in that. Imagine they had the balls to just get rid of the sequel. They want to keep making stories, TV shows, and movies in this time period, and the biggest blocker on those being interesting is the fact they did the sequels first. The sequels are now making all of this redundant. Whenever a character says, we're doing this to save the rebellion, but it doesn't make any difference. We know it doesn't, because we've seen it already. It's just, it's the right creative decision to get rid of them, the right business decision to get rid of them. They're not going to get rid of them, but they really should. Right PR decision? Yep. Everything leads to them getting decanonized, but it is not going to happen.
If they just came out and said, you know what, guys, we hired the wrong people. Massive L. Well, we're going to take that L. True, valid, all that stuff that you said, totally valid, heckin' valid. So imagine what would happen. Everyone's like, holy shit, they actually admitted it? They're doing it? So are they going to get new people? Are they going to... It's not going to happen, though, but... It isn't. It's not going to happen. There would have to be a complete and total, top to bottom replacement of essentially every single human being and algorithm at Disney HQ for that to even be entertained. It will never happen, unfortunately.
And so, Mando's like, oh man, I guess I'm not getting paid for this one. And so she's like, and takes him to a little ship lot, and this is just immensely funny from having seen seasons of Mando. If you guys have checked out us watching Mando over the course of the seasons on EFAP TV, you'll know that we found the Razor Crest kind of annoying as time went on, because it's like immensely plot armored. It's always doing every single job that's needed. It's kind of boring to look at once. It's just and it just gets disintegrated in an episode at some point. We were like, whoa, okay.
Yeah, it gets bombed by like a Star Destroyer. Ooh, it's turned into a crater.
I think we cheated, yes. And then
you don't have your fucking get out of jail free card.
Season 3, episode 1, he has to get a new starship, and it is
or are you doing that on purpose?
I thought it was season 3, episode 1.
It was Book of Boba Fett. No, it's season 1, episode 5, Book of Boba Fett. That's when he gets the Naboo starfighter.
The actual Mando season 3, episode 1.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, that's why I wondered if you were memeing.
No, I don't. I struggle to remember where all the pieces.
It was in the Book of Boba Fett.
Great job, Disney.
He gets the Naboo starfighter, which is a terrible idea for a ship for a bounty hunter.
No, Eckhart's Ladder told me that it's the perfect ship for the Mandalorian. All right.
Well, apparently Disney disagreed.
Yeah, I mean, they realized the error of their ways.
Yeah, not even touching the fucking insane continuity issues for anybody who didn't watch Book of Boba Fett. That is the replacement ship, and there's loads of problems. For anybody, just one quick rundown. It's like he's separated from Grogu. There's 2 separate pods. You can't even like deal with Grogu, whatever he's doing for the time mission. You can't fit anything additional in. He doesn't have an ability to carry bounties.
Like a bounty?
Can't really carry many weapons, any items.
Can't stretch his legs.
No, can't walk around. Have any kind of meaningful scenes.
Anything.
You know,
he can't take a ship.
It's like a fighter. A fighter is built for a particular purpose, and it does that purpose well. And it is simply not the purpose of the vehicle that you'd want to have if you'd want a mobile home, essentially. You want an armored and armed mobile
If you want to make it cars, right, it's like, rather than a caravan that's getting towed by, I don't know, a ute or something, it's like, instead you live in like a Miata. It's like, I'm sure you'll
And
have
as a
fun
Miata
driving
owner,
around,
I love my Miata. I'm not taking it across. If I take a cross-country trip, I'm just renting out another car and renting out a hatchback or something.
Yeah,
I'm not traveling cross-country in my Miata.
Just the fundamental immediate flaw of you can't even conduct your primary job, so why would you pick that one? But it was always done for the reference, the key jangle. They'd play all the sounds and stuff, and it's like, oh, you like that Starfire? Yeah, we know it's from
prequels.
And he does.
The prequels, they started sucking nose for that point.
He does like keep it for the season and for a lot of big old battles and stuff. There's still compensations happening here and there, but when you get to this movie, they're just like, oh, fuck you, it's gone. You're like, what? What do you mean? Because like when he gets into the ship with Zeb, it's like, oh, that's not the stuff. Okay, well, I guess that's not happening.
Yeah, and then you see it's parked outside of the town.
Well, so just to be absolutely clear,
you'll go.
Sigourney
You can't even
Weaver.
pick up groceries in it.
Sigourney Weaver has provided him a replacement ship, and it is just a new Razor Crest.
They didn't even get a Razor Crest-like ship.
No, the actual Razor Crest, and she even explains that they got this specific one from the lot of an Imperial guy that they captured, and then she thought this is the perfect ship for man. It's almost like she knows, because she watched the earlier seasons, that this was the ship he really liked. She wasn't there. How does she know this? The only people who were there were like Gus Fring, Mando, Boba Fett, Fennec Shand, and Grogu, right? None of the Rebellion knew about it. Or maybe.
With her mind, with his mind powers, he might have. He can like telepathically communicate with people, or is that just Ahsoka and Luke? Do you have to be a Force user for him to talk to you? Wait,
well, remember he has the yes/no droid for a little bit, and then they remove that from him. Where he's like yes, yes, no to questions. So.
Oh god, because they removed him from his really useful flying bed and put him in a droid that couldn't fly, and then he had to be jetpacked around by Mandalorians. Oh, what a show.
You know what? I'm glad I didn't rewatch the show.
Wow. Rub it in, why don't you?
Yeah, I will. I will, and over again.
Yeah, to me, this is just confirmation that all the criticism we had was correct, and Disney had no choice eventually but to give him it back, because you need the scenes where he's talking to people and walking around inside it. You need to be able to put people in it. All the things we said happen in this movie, and it's like, yeah, you can't have that. Yeah.
Which then makes you wonder why they even introduced the Zap guy as a guy who picks him up from places with a spaceship if he
Yeah, he does
just
the flying
gets his
half
own
the
one.
movie.
He got the Chewbacca
Well,
anyway. He's just a chauffeur now.
Yeah, I don't know. It's all over the place. It doesn't really even matter. It's just funny more than anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Regardless.
Who cares about the set? Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Scrawny
He could
Weaver's
die
like,
for all I know.
your next target. No one knows what he looks like, and people think he's dead. Which is an interesting start. You're like, okay, so how am I getting info? It's like, you've got to go to the Hutt twins of Nalhutta and rescue their cousin, Rota the Hutt. And in exchange for rescuing their cousin, they will give you the information on the mysterious Empire Man. So it's like, wow, that's what we're doing. That's the film, huh? Go to place, get operation to go to other place, collect thing, replace full information, get the information on other guy, and then get that guy. It's like, ooh.
I was immediately thinking, oh, we're just doing a season of the show.
Oh yeah.
That they didn't.
This
get
sounds
to
like
do.
it'd be a handy arc for 3-4 seasons of a TV show.
Yep.
I've seen this format, 3 seasons long.
And you know what? In theory, purely hypothetically speaking, if they had this plot, but it was done really well, if Mando was a clever, interesting character and his relationship with Grogu was actually something worth giving a damn about, I'd be like, yeah, all right, I guess the plot is really, really, like, basic and generic, but that's fine. A really simple, generic, basic plot executed well is still a good story, right?
Yeah.
I guess.
There's a line following up where he's asking about, the name, and she says, his name is Rota the Hutt, the only surviving heir of Jabba the Hutt.
Jabba the Hutt.
And it's very, somehow Palpatine returned as like it feels like from Sigourney Weaver's end, the way you listen to her deliver that line, that she's just like, where am I? What's happening? Like, what is this?
I want to go home.
Get Rota the
It was an
Hutt.
alien.
Besides how depressing it is just on its face, there is another quite depressing element to it as well, which is that, like, if you do know about Rota the Hutt and you remember where you heard that name from, then you've seen the Clone Wars movie, where the plot is that Rota the Hutt gets kidnapped, and it turns out it's a big old conspiracy involving an Uncle Hutt and the villains to turn against the Republic. And it's like, I do wonder, are we maybe just having another go at that movie now?
He's getting
Is that
revenge.
what we're doing?
People don't like that movie enough.
It might be the only Star Wars movie to have made less than this one will, but I think that's indicative of something, which is that you shouldn't. This was a bad story the first time, Dave.
You shouldn't do it again, Dave Filoni. What are you
You
doing?
say that to him, and then he's like, but what else could I do? You're like, oh.
Are you telling me there's different story?
I imagine John
retire.
Favreau was like, I need a movie idea, and Dave Filoni was like, okay. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
you
gonna
better
think
watch
of
your mouth.
something. And John
That's exactly
Favreau
what we're
hadn't
talking
seen
about.
any of the Clone Wars. I was like, Dave Filoni was like, bingo.
So,
Just gave him his own.
Why did you
God damn it, it's so bad.
Mando says, I don't work for gangsters anymore. And again, just no emotion at all. Sigourney Weaver says, that's right, you don't. You work for us. And right now, this is what we need you to do. You don't want the job, and I got nothing for you.
It's like I'm watching the, it's like I'm watching the movie right now. It's insane.
Yeah.
What was so remarkable to me is it's so inefficient. It's like you do not work for gangsters. You actually work for us. And at this moment, working for us entails us telling you to work for them, and therefore that is what you must do. And if you do not wish to do that, then you will not do anything.
In theory, this cool idea, like, oh, we're gonna test your morals and not working for gangsters, but what if it's done for the greater good of the New Republic, and what if we're giving you, orders, and this is the job, and ooh, what will Mando do? What will his conditions be? How will she explain why the New Republic can justify working with, the Hutts of all people, and da-da-da. None of that. Nothing interesting there to explore. Here's the job. I don't like it, but I'm gonna do it.
I guess
All
I
right.
should
Let's
say
see.
all of you are going to care greatly about this. I'm kind of skipping over any and all times the camera focuses on Grogu and he goes like oogly boogly or eats something. It's just, yep, that happens several times.
That's a lot of the movie.
Didn't I DM you at some point that I think he probably ate like more than his body weight in this fucking movie?
Just keeps on. That's the meme. They don't know what else to do. It's like they have a console of buttons of these things have worked before. Press it, press it, press it, press it, press it, press it. He's like, you're pressing it too many times, David. Stop. And he's like, no.
Belly's belly.
All we have.
He eats a fuck. Like in the first 30 minutes, he ate like 7 times or something.
Now,
It's so bad every time he has a meeting scene because, I mean, you can obviously tell it's such a bad job they do with Puppet. And the whole thing, they couldn't even, like, choreograph in a thing where this thing actually gets the bite off of it or anything. It's just, they're obviously, well, how many millions of dollars does this movie cost? It's just him, you know, and it goes on and on. Put the food against his mouth,
yeah.
Put it down, put it again. And it's just like nothing, no eating, nothing happens to the food. It's just so blatant and lazy. I can't believe it.
They really are trying to keep the blue food meme alive.
Yeah, all the food's blue.
It's a blue cookie.
Blue Oreos, blue berries. I don't think we really have those. Luckily, Grogu is only a minor side character and not like literally a titular important,
extremely important,
antagonist.
Yeah. So, and you know, I'm gonna point the finger at everyone here and chat. Okay, when Han got into the cockpit in TFA when you first ever saw it, there's got to be a percentage of people here that were like, "Ooh, look at him go! He's in the cockpit!" Ooh, and J.J. Abrams in that moment plays it such. It's like the music swells and Han's there like, "Oh, here I am." It's like, "Oh, the return." We're back. Oh yeah, they do that for Mando. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
They did, him going into the cockpit of the fucking Razor Crest is treated that way.
It's like 3 minutes long.
I was actually like, are you joking? Who the fuck cares? It's like, bro, Mando has reunited with his cockpit of the Razor Crest. Like, wow. This to me is such an indication of the cow has been milked so hard. You're like, what are we even doing anymore? There's another example of that coming up actually later, but they're so desperate.
Can sort of gets away with it because like there's still stuff happening. It's almost like a break from everything else when that happens. It understands that we're doing shallow, lazy fan service shit, but like, it's a quiet moment in between a whole bunch of hectic nonsense. This movie doesn't understand that these are supposed to be like quiet moments as contrast. So like this is just taking even longer to get from nowhere to nowhere. It's really slow.
This movie had no business being 7 hours long.
I know. I would have thought you want to cap this to 1 hour 45 just because of what it is. But they go
quick, get in,
9
get
hours
out.
long.
Nice condensed movie.
Nope.
But then you get the rampant inefficiency coming on again because you already know exactly what's going to come next in this scene. So you just had the pitch is that the Hutts have said their nephew's been kidnapped. They need you to go rescue him, and you've relayed this information. The only piece of information they don't relay is, okay, where do I go find him? Because we need to justify a very, very long sequence where we go all the way to visit the Hutts, at the end of which we get only one piece of information, which is he's on this other planet, so you can just go there. That all could have been contained in the initial email, and the movie again would have been shorter.
Oh, it's definitely an email movie, yeah, if such a thing could be said.
Yes.
They never gave a reason for the Hutts wanting to speak to him in person, really. Which could have been like. They could have given a reason. Because that would be a thing in this universe. You'd want to meet people face to face so that it can't be intercepted or hacked or anything like that. So you'd want to do. It's one of the good aspects of what I like about the Star Wars world is that it feels very like analog sci-fi with you know, this is the way a lot of the technology is presented. So there's still a reason to have like manually powered gun batteries on the sides of ships, and things have tubes and levers and buttons, glorious buttons and knobs.
We'll go after her.
Well.
So they arrive at Nal Hutta, and they're immediately like almost they're kind of like reprimanded almost, which I thought was weird because it's like, wait, you're supposed to be like you told us incessantly like this is you're arriving because you've been invited, you've got a deal going, and then fucking Zeb moves into the screen. He's like, easy on the sticks. They're expecting us. We should be fine. It is at this point where it's just like the dialogue is dead. It's just dead.
Says,
it's so dead.
The Huts
It's
take
like fake
security
tension.
seriously. Oh, thank you. How could I have known that if you hadn't told me?
Imagine telling the fucking pilot they're expecting us. You're like, yeah, that's why I'm here.
I just find that funny. They take security seriously, do they?
Not really. No,
Do they really?
Well,
don't.
yeah,
They really
They've
don't.
hired an entire droid army, which is presented as though it's new information, but I don't actually know when they did this. But yeah, their security is patchy at best. But it tells you they're lying though. Already you know they're lying. It's so obvious that they're lying because they've got all these resources. They're the Huts and they employ their own bounty hunters. If they weren't, like, why else would they be involving the New Republic unless they were trying to fuck them over? It's so obvious where this is going.
So, heading in, says the Huts use violence and treachery to maintain control. We are guests, but we're not safe. Telling this to his baby.
Yep.
So don't do anything that would get us killed, baby.
Okay, Zep, you stay in this
Don't
ship.
reach
I'm
for your
taking the
blaster.
baby and go to the Huts.
Yeah, so fucking stupid. But unfortunately,
Zeb
this
told
scene
me this a few
establishes
minutes ago.
there's a whole lot of Huts who are just doing their thing in this building. You have no idea what they're up to
They're
necessarily.
squirming around,
Doing
having
stuff.
weird, slimy 69s and dirt pits.
I'm just saying.
What a disgusting species that should be eradicated.
What, slugs?
Yeah.
Like the Tuscans.
Well, do I got some good news for you?
I'm sure they all deserve to be killed without trial or ceremony.
I think Dave Filoni is the only person on this earth who has a fetish for Huts.
Yes.
Something's going on. He wants
So-
to. Oh, I almost said hut cream, but I didn't.
Hot cream, hot cream.
He's so into this, and it's good that we've referenced this ahead of time. When they say, "Hey, Mando, we need you to get the fucking rota," the image they show is from the Clone Wars movie. It's like, you don't have anything updated.
People in my theater
Well,
giggle.
but that's another example. They're lying. They've just told. They say, our dear nephew, that we really love him a lot, and he's been taken by bad people. He fell in with the wrong crowd, and we want to get him back. So, but if you loved him so much and he's your dear nephew, why is your last picture of him from like 30 years ago? Obviously, you're lying.
He's not like a
Mando
famous,
should
well-known
understand that they're
person.
lying.
That's the thing. They could download a fucking new image of him from the website about.
They have a shit ton of resources. They could send anyone fucking else all these years.
He is very easy to find. Yes.
He's easy to find, but it's more just like, so Mando's just walking into this very obvious trap, and everything he's being shown, the Huts show him evidence that they're bullshitting, and he has no response whatsoever. All you need to do is have him, like, cotton on, start thinking, yeah, there's some suspicious shit going on here. I don't think I really believe them, Grogu, but, you know, let's spring the trap, to coin a phrase. Like, have him at least aware that he's being fucked.
What
I
if?
think even Grogu is intelligent enough to, you know, figure that out, but I guess not. Also, like, I hate that entire premise of this film, is balancing the fact that, hey, I hope you think that you don't think that Huts are suspicious creatures at all. And they even spell it out that they're.
I was gonna say he opens with that, and then so, but I'm confused as well because it's like if he did go and he found that Rota was happy, and so he comes back like, yeah, he's not in trouble, he's doing well. Well, what are they gonna do?
Yeah, he
the
doesn't
twins.
Yep.
Well,
And
he's
there's
not.
another layer to that, which is that if he didn't go, and they hypothetically wanted Rota to die, then him not going would have ensured that happened.
Yep.
So by them sending him, they
Well,
fucked
Platoon,
themselves.
that would only really be 100% confirmed if they had some kind of, I don't know, direct contact with a certain coin that is established as true later. So,
Yes.
I don't know what you mean. Crazy nonsense you're talking about there. But apparently he's on Shikari, so he's got to go to Shikari, and you can already tell what kind of movie this is. It's like, did we just? Oh
It's
god.
a TV show movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's going from fucking place to place, which,
And
from what I know, might be light years away from each other. It's gonna take like 2 weeks for him to get to one place to another, but we will never know because this universe is fucking small as shit, even though it's the fucking universe.
Hey man.
Notice that too. How people.
Sorry, I
you
got
just
upset. I didn't mean to yet.
All right, I think that's a perfect place to end it off.